Do you know you are an angel?
Intellectually,
No.
I get the point, but I'm trying to absorb it into my very being. I've not accepted that yet.
Well, I'm not asking you to swallow a bag of rocks here, sweetheart.
I'm being honest. I haven't absorbed it into my very being yet.
Yeah.
Intellectually, I do know that.
Yeah. I'm going to just stop you right there. So this is something we do as human beings. We say, "I'm being honest," but in honesty, in truth, you are an angel. That's what you are. But as human beings, like when we oftentimes we talk about being honest in the sense of we look to how we are feeling. Like, how am I feeling? Let me tell you how I'm honestly feeling. Well, sometimes feeling is a very horrible gauge of how you are or what you are. What you are. I can remember a moment in history when if I said, honestly, egoically, how am I doing? Oh, I'm ready to punch a hole in the wall. Like that's, how I'm doing, But that wasn't the honest truth. That was the emotional egoic truth. But if I took a step deeper, and that's what the invitation is to step deeper and say, but how am I really? We could go a little deeper. Oh, there's this, fury within me. What's fury? It's a lot of energy. Okay, what's deeper? Oh, there's this presence here. A presence that notices the fury, that notices the fear, that notices the being out of control or wanting to control. And so, as we work together, as we grow together, I would very much invite that our definition of honesty include every aspect of our being. If it includes one aspect, then things can be really, really brutal. I've told this story many times, probably too many times, but about 3 years ago, I guess it was 3 years ago, my father died, and then, and that was like, a big deal because it was completely unexpected. But then I was in a whitewater rafting accident, and I smashed my head and almost drowned. I actually thought I was dead, and I was like, oh, this is great, But then I wasn't dead, and I was like, oh shit, this hurts, And so, I actually still live with some of that pain of, just like chronic, intense pain in the body. And it's I could have a hell of a life experience if I only identify with pain. I could probably be, like on, what are the pills? How do you say it? Opioids, right? Did I say that right? Yeah, I could be addicted to those pills now. But I don't take pills, so. And so to live with, chronic intense pain and not, be medicated or whatever, but rather to be happy. I have to look at, in honesty, what is it that I am? What is it that I am? Fundamentally, what is it that I am? If I just listen to my nerves, it's like, oh boy, a lot of pain. Wow, that's a lot of pain, And then, how we get when we listen to our nerves and believe that it's the end of the world? Well, you can get really crazy. That's why there's people on the planet shooting each other, because they listen to their nerves or their, crazy aspects of their psychology or their, their woundedness or jealousy or rage or whatever it is. And so to allow yourself to expand enough, to know, to say what what Chad was saying here is like, oh, I'm noticing there's these, this dancing energetic aliveness. You can have dancing energetic aliveness and be in chronic pain, like ridiculous lifelong pain. And when you begin to realize, oh, that's a possibility, like if you happen to be stuck with that kind of pain, but even if you're a normal human being and experiences some level of pain, can I know that what I am is this incredible thing? Absolutely incredible thing. And oh yeah, like my nervous system is having a lot of pain. You can admit both. That's okay. I spent many years admitting both. Like, how are you doing, Craig? Oh, I'm doing completely terrible and everything's falling apart and I'm absolutely wonderful and blissful at the same time. People look at me like, you're fucking crazy. Like, what the hell are you talking about? When we're in the world of the ego, we are either horrid or maybe good. We're this way or that way. And see, to live in a true non-dual way, we allow everything. We step into that which is beyond. And I'll, fully admit, stepping into beyond doesn't mean you don't feel. It's one of the real myths of spiritual awakening, is I get to a place where I do not feel. Like, if you have a human body, you will feel. We have nerves. Feeling's quite wonderful. Sometimes it's wonderfully terrible. Like women when they're giving birth, it's wonderfully terrible. It's like, oh, the baby's coming. I'm being ripped apart. Like, oh my God. But when they surrender, there's this beauty. It's beauty that comes. This beauty that comes. And they step into it and they feel as if I am the universe giving birth. I am the universe giving birth. That's like probably most women's the most brutal, difficult experience of their life. I am the universe giving birth. I mean, us men, we have it easy. It's like, come on, But yes, Aaron, I'm just going to invite that sense of looking not to just our head, like you were describing. You were saying, I know this intellectually, but to come into our heart and know there is something good here, something beautiful, something pure. Oh, this is what I am. Yeah, please.
One day I was sitting at my meditation, in my meditation room, and was practicing the structure of the ego. And I noticed myself, my ego completely slipped away, and I was very scared because I couldn't locate myself.
Yeah.
And my ego came right back, and I was so ticked at myself for getting scared. And I have been, whatever source this is that is part of me.
Yeah.
I've been praying to that source to reintroduce itself to me again, so that I can get used to it, and it never comes, and I'm just not comprehending.
Yeah.
What part of me that is not allowing myself to experience that again, so that I could get used to that idea.
Yeah.
And,
no, it's beautiful. So I'll stop you there for a second. So the big thing is can we relax and trust? Relax and trust. So the word never, the Buddha said, those are Mara's words. Never, forever, always. A couple others, but those are the ones that Mara liked to use. Mara being like the Buddhist form of the devil, and I want to be clear here about the devil. The devil is just an ego lost in thought. So anytime we say never, forever, we're in a dangerous territory. So I want you to imagine you relax more and more and more. And the truth will present itself. Your heart will present itself. Your angelic nature will present itself. Like I told you, I have no idea who you are. We met today. But when you walked in, right away I saw this angel. Right away. Because I see you. I see what you are. Your beauty, your divinity. And so can you see that, sweetie? And we don't see it like when we're like this, like I want, like whatever that guy was from that movie. What's his name? The ring guy. Precious? Yeah. Gollum.
Precious is the ring.
Yeah.
Yeah. His name's Gollum, right? Yeah. And so we get like that. Like I was, I can remember I was, I don't know, really young, maybe 19. And my teacher, he told me, meditate every day, Craig. And so every day, 3 hours, 4 hours, every single day, and I had this little boy, and he would he had like a ball, he'd throw it against the door, and I would like sit in this closet and meditate, and he would throw the ball, and I just wanted it to shut up, I wanted it to shut up. Because I wanted to find the peace. And in order to find the peace, he needed to be quiet. And see, there was a harshness, there was a grasping at it. It has to be a certain way, it has to come a certain way, it has to be quiet for me to see the peace that's here. Instead of, opening that door and be like, hey, let's throw the ball, and experiencing the peace in the form of a ball and throwing a ball at the child and watching him laugh with me. And then just allowing his innocence to open up my innocence. But I didn't do that, I said, I'm going to go outside and build myself a meditation hut where there is no noises, And I could make the experience of peace, through intense concentration. That's actually a good thing in the beginning, to have intense concentration. But the funny thing is when we are loose and open and relaxed, then it just comes. It just comes. So make it easy. Make it easy for life. Make it easy for the truth. Make it easy for your nature to come forward. So don't say never. Say always. Always come. I'm right here. Be like a little girl and just call it forward. Call it forward. You with me?
Yes.
Yeah. And you start to feel like that the heaviness of grasping starts to break, and then you just start to hear. You start to see, you start to feel. I can remember I once had this really big diesel truck, I used to drive around, and when I was doing so much building work with my teacher, and it was like so loud, like ridiculously loud. And so I'd drive around, and I can remember I was at a stop sign, and I, pressed on the gas, and the motor started to roar, and I just heard these birds just chirping. And they were just, the sound of the chirp was just arising within me. And I was like, oh, what is this? It's just such innocence. This incredible experience of oneness. I was driving this loud, obnoxious diesel truck. And I began to realize, oh, it's here all the time. Not never, but all the time. I'm here all the time. This innocence that hears the chirp of the bird, the sound of the wind. It's here all the time. And so that's what I want you just to play with. And sometimes, even just in a real innocent, childlike way, you just imagine it forward. You expect it. As a kid, I always expected to wake up to the ultimate reality. And it wasn't like an arrogant thing. It was just like, I knew the world was crazy. I knew the way I was thinking was not like the fullness. It was more like a really innocent way. And I had this thought, like even when I was, probably like 5. And so that's what, my sense of with God was. It's like, it's going to be fun. It's going to come. It's going to open up. I just knew like this isn't the truth. Being a little boy and like really concerned about toys or my mom and dad's feelings or whatever it is that little kids, worry about. I can't even remember what I worried about as a kid. I was going to get myself beat up on the playground or whatever. This can't be the ultimate truth. This girl who broke my heart, this can't be the ultimate truth. There's something greater, and we're all here to know that. It's just like when you go out and look at the night sky, wow, this is incredible. I am incredible. And so it's the opposite of arrogance. It's like a little kid, You expect your mother to feed you. Some of us, though, we have mothers who are brutal or mean, and so it spins us in this cycle. But the invitation here is, if that happens, if we're the worst father, worst mother, maybe the worst combination of the two, sometimes we get two really tough ones, to not let that reality define this greater reality. And that's what most of humanity does, is they let the past, that pain, that not being seen, not being loved, not being heard, we let it define our reality, and then we spend the next 20 years or 30 years attacking ourselves. It breaks my heart to see people attacking themselves. Like me, I had a father, he was a drill sergeant. What do you say to us in the morning? Reveille GI. That meant like, wake the hell up. Like wake the hell up. His kids said, and so I adopted his drill sergeant. And then when I learned to meditate, I had a drill sergeant meditating. And it was good because it would get me up out of bed at 5 a.m. But wasn't very good for very long. It's like it was good for a little bit, but but not for very long. After a while, it's like, oh, I'm screaming at myself inside. This is not. Isn't this a path of love? I'm screaming at myself. And one of the greatest gift my teacher gave to me is when he looked at me, and I just have to say this because it's so hilarious. When I showed up at my teacher's house, I had on big purple blue jeans that were like 4 sizes too big. I had dreadlocks, and I just looked like some wild child, was completely confused. And he looked at me and saw God. He looked at me and saw God. And I was like this punk kid. And he just asked me one question. He said, "Do you know how to work?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Good. Good." And at the time, what I thought he meant was, boy, do you know how to dig a hole? Because we're digging a foundation for, some kind of building. We built so many buildings, but he meant, do you know how to walk forward and never give up? Never give up on yourself. Never give up on your truth. Never give up on finding this innocence, this beauty, this divinity. To never give up. And so this is a wonderful invitation as we're just walking forward. How does the Buddha say it? Always being Buddha. Always becoming Buddha. So you're realizing them both simultaneously. When my teacher looked at me, I knew this man was special, and I knew he loved me. I didn't know who the hell this guy was, But he looked at me, and I knew this was my home. He saw me. And it's a problem here in life is no one sees us. We don't see ourselves. Or we only see our ego. The world only sees our ego. And so we get stuck in this weird feedback loop of ego. Oh yeah, I'm ego. They're an ego. We're all egos. We're all crazy. Everyone's crazy. But when you meet someone and they see you, they see your beauty. There's that sense, like Jia was saying, you wake up, you're like, oh yeah, like this is where I'm supposed to be. This is where I'm supposed to be. And you smile. And it provides you a sense of faith, a sense of encouragement. But so many of us, we identify with, I'm valuable because I'm a workaholic or whatever. Because that's how I could have taken it, with my teacher. Okay, I just need to work and not stop working and be a good worker so then he can love me. I did so many stupid things when I was with him. I fell on my face right and left and made a fool of myself this way and that way. And he always saw, this boy is God. I'd come to him through divorce, through heartache, through, financial desperation, just any, fear, jealousy, rage, you name it. And he said, Craig, what are you? Fucking pissed is what I am, And he said, Craig, what are you? I'm a child of God. Yes. Yes. Craig, what are you? David, I'm falling apart, He said, Craig, what are you? I'm a warrior. A spiritual warrior. And so he would never give up on me. Never give up. And so, sweetheart, you are not going to give up on yourself. You're going to keep opening and opening and opening. Say, oh yeah, I think there's something good in here. I'm pretty sure there is. And then you just open to that. And don't look with your mind. This is the mistake that almost everyone on the planet makes. They look with their mind for their divinity. And you're not going to find your divinity with your thinking mind. You will find an image, you'll find thoughts, you'll find an argument why you are the best in the world or the worst. Normally it's one or the other. I am the best or I'm the worst. I spent most of my life with I'm the worst. Let me apologize for breathing the air. And so if you ask your mind, you just have the swing back and forth. And so to get this glimpse, and then to live in that glimpse, is you look in your heart. You say, oh, this is good. It's good what I am. And then you breathe into that, open into that. And then please plant some roots there. Get comfortable with the beauty that you are. Get comfortable with it. Like look in the mirror. Be like, I am so beautiful. So beautiful. So beautiful. And see the radiance pouring out of your eyes.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sweetie. You bless me with your presence. You bless me with your presence. Like I'm the one who should be thanking you, sweetheart, for blessing me with your presence. So, how we doing? Does anyone else have anything they want to share or ask in this moment? You said something, huh? This is Suzanne, everyone. She has been so helpful to me in every way, and she has been so helpful to countless people on the interweb because she helps to share, and then people tell me thank you, and then I get to tell her thank you because she's so helpful with my website and the technology, and she helps straighten me out. And so I'm eternally thankful for you. She did what I did with my teacher. She just came and said, I can work. And so then we get to have this fun relationship. So there was many people who came to my teacher, and they didn't work. They just wanted to kind of come and have a little meditation and then, go home. But my teacher, he liked having me around because I just became like his right hand. And so I was always with him, and I greatly benefited. So I want to thank you so much. Yeah.